It's about to get real today. Everybody's got a story. Some are good, some are not so good. But today I'm going to talk about a few things that I guess tell a few stories I've never talked about before. It's going to be like rubbing salt in my own open wounds. We're going to talk about some things that my painful experiences, stuff that I've learned over the years, and instead of the normal stuff I talk about, oh, I'm ready for it. So I'm going to take that challenge. And here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about painful lessons I've learned and the fears I've had to overcome over the last years. And basically, I guess it's back since 2001, if you got to think about it. So now thinking about this, and I paid for my house twice, bought my house twice. Matter of fact, hell, I paid second time for it more than the first time because I was trying to get myself out of debt. I've dug myself out of multi-million dollars worth of debt. Thought about telling you the amount, but it's almost embarrassing. But the good point is I did it. Didn't go bankrupt. I've lost friends. I've had friends back me up. I've had friends let me down. Hell, I might even shed a tear here later if I get thinking about it. I don't want that to happen. But it is what it is. And I've made money. I probably lost more, especially lost in time if you count that. But I'll never get able to get that back again. But you got to look at it from a learning experience. Did I learn something? People pay for college. My mom and dad were fortunate to send me to college, and I didn't have any student debt. But I've learned a lot more than I did in college. That's for damn sure. I've been happy. I've been sad and downright terrified, actually. Hell, I've been so damn mad, it's unhealthy. You've ever seen a pissed off, your damn heart just starts beating? I thought some bad thoughts being that pissed off at people. And whether they deserve it or not, it's just the fact of it. So Dave, what are those top 4 fears or stuff I've overcome? And I started making some notes, and boy, doing this today's show made me really ponder. But one of the first fears I had, it was I couldn't do it by myself. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what to do. And I thought I needed somebody to hold my hand, basically. And damn, that was stupid. I confused needing help with needing a partner. You ever heard the saying that all partnerships fail? Well, I heard that before, and I was bound and determined not to let that happen. So I did some things that I thought, well, I can't let this partnership fail because I'm one that likes to prove people wrong. Well, I didn't want to ruffle any feathers. Didn't want to disagree with decisions. I let my partner run the show because I figured he knew better, knew more than I did, quote unquote. Oh, I've made some bad decisions. And then when we wanted to grow, the most stupidest thing we did when we wanted to grow, hell, that meant bring on more partners. Oh, my lands. That don't not follow Chris G's example right here. Okay. Now, you do need help. And I've learned my lesson on that. But I tell you what, that help is in the form of mentors, team members. I'm not saying partners, I meant team members, employees, people you work with, subcontractors, specialists. I've got my specialist. I got accountants. I've got lawyers. I've got insurance agents. And in some cases, in my case, back in the day, it was real estate agents too. People that are smarter than you, and you pay them, you compensate them, however that works, but they don't have to be your partner. I got myself in some really tight situations and where I had to put my name on the line. And it became such a mess. I finally had to step up through my fears of, because it was going to get bad. I finally took the reins, realized that I had to cover and take care of Chris. Now that took between 2003, no, I take that back, 2001 to 2000, actually 2021, 20 years. Like Donald Trump, 20 years, 20 long years, profitable years, learning lesson years, but yes, it did. It was a long road to hoe. Now, for those who don't know what that means, Kevin kind of makes fun of me sometimes. I get these analogies. Long road to hoe. Anybody ever have a garden? I hate gardening. Why? Because my grandma had one of the biggest damn gardens ever, and I had to go out and work the son of a bitch. But anyway, so you pull a string out and you have to take this hoe. And the hardest part is you got to dig the little rows to put your seeds in. And the longer you go, the more your arms hurt. And then one row ain't enough. You got to have several rows of this or several rows of that. And the point being is, I survived. And I definitely do things differently today. And I do it for today. But it's just time never going to get back. So that kind of leads me to the next fear. So I was afraid I couldn't afford help. As I evolved, I thought, well, I can't afford help. So I did everything myself. And I'm good at it. At least I think I am. I'd save money, and I saved money. I didn't save much time though. It took me much longer because I'm doing it on the side. Um, it just took more time. So when I finally kicked myself in the butt and said, okay, Chris, you have to hire some help. And I hired people. Somebody being there is different than help. They're looking at you, collecting a paycheck. But I knew hiring help wasn't partners. Are they better than nothing? Oh, yeah, they're terrible. Don't get me wrong. But that help led me to another fear that I couldn't afford A players. What do I mean by A players? I mean, people that are smarter than you sometimes, or especially in the expertise of what you're wanting to hire them for. Part of that team. I want you to think about it. So that fear cost me bunches. I hired someone, and I'm not blaming them because I hired them. I'm just blaming me. It was a mistake I made. It cost me hard money of $16,000 when I did the math after that person left. I did it. It's like, God damn, $16,000 is gone. And that's not counting the other money I lost just in the wrong quotes we did, the mistakes. And I can even talk about partnership stuff. Even when the partners, this is a long time ago, and you think you're all done with it, and I'll be damned, you don't get something in the mail. You get a phone call, you get something, and you realize they're coming to bite you again. I remember one time it was on a real estate deal up in Moberly, Missouri. It doesn't matter, but Moberly. And we had a deal, and it was several years after the partnership, that particular partner, we got him out, and we had done it, and the title company called, says you owe $2,000. And the hell are you talking about? I said, I owe you $2,000. Oh, yeah. So-and-so said you did, and we've got it on the books, and we can't sell this property until you pay your $2,000 debt because it's showing on the lien. I'm telling you, stuff like that comes back to bite you. It's going to happen. So just prepare yourself. But things like that happen all the time. Or the quotes, I found a quote and it was a typo. I missed it, I guess. And, or she sent it out without me looking. I don't know, something happened, but it wasn't her fault. I'm responsible. The buck stopped here. I think I talked about that one time. Old Harry Truman said that. So what are you going to learn? Got to hire the best. Now I suck at hiring. And so I hired somebody to hire the best for me. Now that sounds counterintuitive. And was it a waste of money? No, I have to look at it as an investment. Those people will pay for themselves. And you look back and you think, boy, how can I afford that? It's scary at first. Don't get me wrong. You want to pay them more than your competitors. And that could be a discussion for another day, but you want to make sure you're getting very good people that know what they're doing. And don't look at it like a cost, because that person is going to take you a long ways. I'm part of several masterminds. I'm going to tell a story about one here. So the other day we were talking in the mastermind group, and we were talking about all employees and how they've got this document called how the person should act in the company. And I thought, I didn't open my mouth up because this guy was liking to talk, so I was just listening. And I thought to myself, if you hire A players, those people know how to act. You shouldn't have to tell somebody how to act. Now, I took human resources in college. In my corporate world, we had a human resource department. And I'll tell you what, it's very important. Documentation. There's SOPs, there's all that good stuff. And yes, you probably should have some document telling people they should act. But you shouldn't have to get it out and talk to somebody about it, that you didn't act the way I expected you to. Those people you hired, you're going to know how they act before you even get it. It's just a formality. Those papers cover the CYA. Smaller companies, you definitely, I think, you just know how to buy acts. Now, over time, you're going to get bigger and bigger. And those people that you don't have direct communication with, or you're not directly in charge of, because I want you to get out of that hard hat and become your CEO. CEO doesn't oversee everybody. He has other people do that. So you got to have all those documentations. I'm not saying that. But the point being is, if you hire the right people, they're going to take care of you. They're going to take care of your clients, and they're going to lead you. You're going to lead them too, but they're going to give you inspirations, suggestions, guidance. in the areas that they're an expertise at, and that's why you hired them to begin with. And expertise, that's the investment right there. Next one. Ooh, it's okay to walk away. I want to tell you what, your bank account's more important than your ego. I know that for a fact because I have paid dearly for my ego. I had an opportunity. This is back, oh, Lord have mercy, probably back about 20 years ago. We started the partnership. We had finally brought some more partners on. Why? Because getting bigger with partners is the way to go. And there was a little conflict going on. And at this point is where I'm starting to get aggravated and start, take some charge, take some reins. And they offered to buy me out. God damn it. I should have took that. Ooh, I wish I had done that. But I didn't realize how it worked. Now, I know a lot today, and I didn't know then. I had that opportunity. I passed it up mainly because of my ego, not anything else. Definitely wasn't due to my being smart. I thought, no, we're going to make this work. Well, we made it work. Well, I finally got out of it, but it cost me a lot more than if I just took the money and run, and I didn't. Or even broke even. Hell, it had nothing to do with the profit. If you can walk away from a problem and not cost you anything besides a little time, run for the hills, boys. Run for the hills. The last thing I got, you got to face some facts. Sometimes they're cold, hard facts. I remember this time I'd taken over the reins and I had personal guarantees on all this stuff. Now, a couple of other partners did too. Not all of them, but some of them did. And like I said, it was multi-million dollars, and we didn't have the money to make a payment. And that payment, pretty good chunk. Hell, I paid more in insurance on houses than most people pay for their damn house in a year. We had a lot of property, like 72 at one time, units, big chunk, and I didn't have the money to pay the bank. So I swallowed my pride. I went into the bank before it happened. I didn't hide. I didn't ghost nobody. I went and I said, Rick, I said, you ain't going to want to hear this, but we just might as well get it out and open now. I can't make the payment. You got to ask for help. And I did. And you know what? They appreciated that I come in and talk to them. They appreciated that everything I promised them, whether they didn't like it or not, but I told them what's going to happen, and I made sure it happened. They worked with me. They offered things I never knew a bank could do. Now, they don't go and tell everybody about this stuff because it's not really good banking. But they didn't want our properties. Hell, they're a bank. They're not a landlord. They just want to own them, let you run them. So I negotiated things. I probably did some stupid things there too, but I did not declare bankruptcy. I did not leave them hanging. Me and my other partners who had personal guarantees did not it took us a long time, cost us a lot of money, cost us friendships, cost us dollars, cost us time, but we made it. And when you ask for help, people will find you alternatives. And that's what I think is probably, you just got to face it. Don't hide, don't run. If your bill collector's calling, answer the damn phone. I thank the Lord I never had any of that stuff, but I know people do. Just tell them like it is. And at the end of the day, if you do have to clear bankruptcy, then that's what it's there for. I'm not promoting it, and some people get in those situations. I think I mentioned one of my last podcasts. There's somebody that took their own lives because they got too much in debt. It ain't worth it, okay? So have I learned from my mistakes? Absolutely. And I plan to avoid them in the future. So what I want you to do is I want you to be grateful. I want you to thank God for your loving family, real friends. You learn that you can have friends, you can have real friends. And those real friends are with you through the worst that you could come up with. Thank God for your health. Someone told me the other day, yeah, if you didn't go to the hospital, you'd been dead. I said, yeah, I know. I went to one hospital, woke up in another, and they had to transfer me. I really didn't think about it until they brought it up. That was scary. Scary now to me more so than I was when it happened. Can't imagine what happened to my family. Be thankful again for what you have now. That's like gratitude. To be thankful for what you can have in the future. Now, if any of this stuff today kind of resonated with you, I sure would like it if you'd hit like or subscribe to the old podcast here. And as always, this is Chris G. God be with you till we meet again. And have a nice day. Bye-bye.